Art, the expression of human creativity and experience.
I think the arts have a great power and platform to be able to shine the light on both the darkness and then also, the goodness and where we're trying to go.
But I think of it in terms of the significance that's all around us. And so everything that's around us is literally art in some way.
Artistic expression has been evolving alongside humans since the beginning. Its role in our lives is ever-changing. But what role does it play in political discourse? The Wall of Respect in Chicago, painted in 1971, is associated with the Black Power movement and is a source of inspiration and empowerment for Black communities in Chicago and across the country. During the AIDS crisis, art was central to advocacy and destigmatizing the illness, with projects like the AIDS Memorial Quilt and epic works of art like Angels in America by Tony Kushner. In addition to the AIDS crisis, which affected predominantly gay and bisexual men, queer people in art have been in tandem for years, as a form of identity expression in the face of persecution, and can be seen through drag and other forms of gender performance. Art has played a significant role in much more recent political protests, such as the Women's March, gun control protests, environmental rallies, protests for racial justice, and more. Communities like the Sanctuaries in Washington, D.C. are working to provide a space and the resources for artists to engage in artistic activism and protest.
Sanctuaries was started in 2013. It was started by Reverend Erik Martínez-Resly, and he came into the city and saw a need for a community of difference coming together to do social justice work in the city. The Sanctuaries will find us opportunities. So different campaigns will reach out to the Sanctuaries and ask for artists. And so I've been able to perform pretty regularly, actually. And not just perform, but walk alongside communities and contribute art to the larger social justice world.
I think the Sanctuaries gave me that space to find my identity as an artist, and it helped me, the space that they created here helped me feel safe enough to explore what it meant for me to be an artist.
In addition to providing artists with space and community, the Sanctuaries offer trainings for art-based activism and organizing. Recently, the Sanctuaries have faced gentrification and the displacement that many communities of color experience.
It's purposeful for us to, in contention with the gentrification that's going on, continue to grow with the spaces that we are going to be in as well as affect, because we're trying to organize communities so that they can feel empowered to have a sense of community that's based in their autonomy and not just what people make up as rules for them.
Especially for a DC native, it's really hard. And it's especially hard for artists as well, because it's important for us to have spaces to create. But I think for DC natives, it's kind of like we want to stay here so bad. Like, we want to be present and we want to continue to have Black people present in our city. But it's just hard to make that happen.
The Sanctuaries are just one example of how communities build around artistic activism. The Artistic Freedom Initiative is an organization based in New York City that focuses on providing legal aid to artists facing persecution.
AFI is led by immigration and human rights attorneys who provide pro bono immigration representation and resettlement assistance to at-risk artists. A lot of these artists are speaking out against the government, right? They're the government in their country of origin, so this is often what's the most incendiary. Some of them their work is touching on, LGBTQ, gender sort of non-conforming, non-binary kind of issues. It doesn't really matter what country they're in. Most of these artists who are in exile or who have been displaced still feel very connected to the communities that they left behind in their home countries, or the struggles of their people. That it's not something that you leave the country and then you leave all of that behind with it.
The Artistic Freedom Initiative has built a community of artists through projects like their residency programs and the Revolutions and Movements exhibit at Dupont Underground in Washington, D.C. Art activism will continue to occupy artistic spaces and the American psyche, and as more people find ways to express their voice, the more beautiful the world will become.
This is the time, especially, socially and politically, to find yourself, to do the deep introspection, to, see what areas you need to heal and grow so that you can be the best you can, so that whether you're providing for a family, whether you're trying to be a good brother or sister, or just be a good friend to somebody, that you're a beacon for them as well as, a marker for what's possible.